Hello Bougie Bite subscribers. So we are back with a cooking video. So I know I've been doing a lot of wine tastings and drink tastings, but today we are doing a video where we will be making beignets. So beignets are a very famous dish in New Orleans. It reminds you of a fried donut and it has powdered sugar on it. So today we are making beignets the easy way. All you need is a little bit of pizza crust, a little bit of flavoring, flour, some vegetable oil, a little bit of aluminum foil, and powdered sugar, which I don't have here yet, but that's the last step. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is open your pizza crust. Okay, now that our pizza crust is open, we're going to put it in this bowl. Like such. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is work in some flavoring into my dough, because this dough is not flavored and I want my dough to have a nice vanilla-y flavor. So I'm using cake batter by McCormick. So what you want to do is open it up, and you probably want to put about a cap full of flavoring in this dough. So I'm going to open this up, put about a cap full of flavoring in here like this. And now I just want to work this flavoring into my dough. Work this flavoring into my dough. Keep working in that flavoring, you guys. All right. Now I'm going to spread this out and roll it. Okay, so now you want to get your Reynolds wrap or parchment plate paper or whatever you have to put this dough on. So I'm going to take a little bit of this out and lay it on my counter just to protect my dough. And that dough that I just worked the flavor into, I'm going to take that and put it on this piece of, well, before I do that, you want to put a little bit of flour down. A little bit of flour down. This will keep it from sticking really bad. So just a dust of flour. And I'm going to take that piece of dough, sorry for the noise, and we're going to put this on the aluminum foil with the flour. Okay, so this is our dough we're going to make our beignets with. What you want to do is find a roller. If you don't have a roller, you can always use a cup, but we're going to roll this out into a thin sheet. Okay, so I have a cup here, a glass that I'm going to use to roll this dough. So I'm just going to take it and just roll my dough. Now, don't press down too hard on your glass. Roll it a little bit more. Just keep rolling your dough, keep rolling your dough. As you can see, I have my dough kind of stretched out a little bit here. It's not super thick, it's a decent size. And I'm going to start cutting squares into the dough. Okay, you guys, you're going to need some vegetable oil and you're going to need a pot. So I'm going to pour this vegetable oil into the pot, just enough to fry my beignets. So I'm just going to pour a decent amount like that into this pot and turn this on about medium heat. Your oil has to be hot before you drop the dough in there. And the dough doesn't take long to cook, so make sure your oil is nice and hot and make sure you're watching it. So now, let's move back over to the dough. Okay, you guys, now that my dough is stretched out, as you can see, I have it at a nice thin thickness. I'm going to start cutting them into squares. So if you ever had beignets before, you know that they are usually cut into squares and then deep fried. So I have a butter knife. All you need is a butter knife. And we're just going to cut these into squares or, you know, rectangles, whatever you prefer. Probably gonna cut this right here. So as you can see, I'm just kind of cutting these into little squares. Cutting it into little squares. So once I get a little square out of here, I'm gonna set this to the side. Right, We're just cutting them into little squares. All right. So as you can see, we are cutting these into little squares. If you can see, like, it's not really thick at all. So this is kind of the thickness you want. So we are cutting these into little squares, you guys. All right, you guys, so I have some squares here that I'm gonna drop into the grease. So come on over with me to the grease. Okay, you guys, now we're gonna start dropping our dough into the grease. So that was a tester to see how hot the grease is, and the grease is getting to its maximum hot temperature. So I hope you guys can see the beignet frying. I'm gonna add our next piece of dough. So I'm gonna add all these pieces of dough, and remember to stay close by your dough. Don't leave it. You don't want it to burn up, and you also want to make sure that, you know, they will cook very fast. So make sure that the other side isn't burning while you're cooking these. So we have our beignets in the grease, as you can see. While the beignets are frying, have your powdered sugar on hand, because you want to dust these with powdered sugar as soon as they come out. Okay, you guys, just let these fry and get a little color to them. They'll be done in just a second. So let's just continue to watch them fry. Okay, you guys, these are just about done. I'm actually going to take them out now because they are at the peak golden brownness that we need them to be. So we're going to take these out and put them on our plate like such. Okay. So now we're going to dust these with some powdered sugar, you guys. So I'm going to take this and, whoa, that was more than a dusting. Wow. Did not mean to do that, but it's okay. You know, more sugar the better. So we're just putting some powdered sugar on these babies. We got powdered sugar everywhere. Okay, you guys. I just did my beignets. They look amazing. They look so good. So let's bring them over here, you guys. Okay, you guys, so I just made these delicious and beautiful beignets with pizza dough. We got powdered sugar. They look amazing, okay? And make sure you put that powdered sugar on them as soon as they come out the grease. So they look so good, so delicious. I want to try one, but they're really hot right now, you guys. But they look so good, so delicious. So I'm going to try one. So here we go. As you can see, it looks amazing. Oh my gosh, that's so good, you guys. You guys got to try this recipe. It's super good, it's super easy, and super fun. So that is my beignets using pizza dough. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend.